Hello, everybody, and the thing I'm going to be talking about today, which you probably already know because of the title, but it's been a while since it's been announced, and that's because I've had some things that have gotten in the way of making videos, and, well, now here it is. Don't need to tell you why. Takes more time, doesn't matter. Anyway, so the thing we're going to be talking about is Time Spiral Remastered. So this is going to be a remaster of the Time Spiral block, probably as you might have guessed by the name. These remasters have been done before on MTGO and recently on MTGA, but the MTGA ones were actually an idea that came after Time Spiral Remastered. And these remasters are basically, they take a block, and to those of you who don't know what a block is a set of 3 sets that all are focusing around the same story and the same plane. And they don't do these anymore. I hope they'll come back, but, you know, we're not going to see them for a while. Anyway, so remaster is where they take a block that a lot of people like drafting, such as Innistrad or other things like Tempest was the first remastered set, and they compress it all down into one set that just focuses on the draft experience and ups the power level a tad. The reason that they decided to make Time Spiral Remastered is that they wanted a paper supplemental product, and they decided, how about we do a paper remastered set? Because paper drafting is a very popular thing to do, because, I mean, what else do you do at FNM? Play Standard? Ha! Didn't think so. They made a list of blocks that they were thinking about remastering, and Time Spiral was by far on top. Some of the big things about the set was that, well, there was a bonus sheet for the first time, and that was just a bunch of old-looking cards, you know, in the old border. The other thing is that it had some color-shifted cards that, in specifically Planar Chaos, and those cards were very, very cool to a lot of players. I personally love them. The last thing that stood out about the Time Spiral block, besides it being just a really well-made block, is that it had a very complicated draft experience. Kind of like Modern Horizons, where there's 78 mechanics. I don't think there's quite as many in Time Spiral block, but there were definitely a lot. So here's what they did to compress a whole block down into just one set for us to draft. Number one, they removed the chaff, because honestly, chaff is pretty boring to play with. And I'm happy about this, right? Higher power draft, I kind of like that, but still it's not like, you know, vintage cube power level, because that would just be ridiculous. They then figured out what the theme for each color was going to be. And they didn't actually say what the themes are going to be, though we can probably guess, based on, well, the cards in the set, but they removed the off-theme cards so that every deck can be more focused. And honestly, I think a synergistic draft deck that just makes it a lot more fun than just being like, yep, play my 2/2, play my 3/3, oh, here's a 2/3 flying. That's just not as interesting. I like it more when there's, synergy. There were also slivers in that block, and they took all these slivers and reduced them to only the slivers that were in the Naya, or red, white, green color combination. This is because these are the colors that slivers really thrive in. I mean, there are still some blue and black slivers in multicolored slivers, but they mainly focus in red, white, and green. The last thing that they did is remove problematic cards, such as Sprout Swarm. This card was just too good for draft because eventually just got going and started making a bunch of 1/1s for free, and they removed the cards like this so that the draft experience was less, oh hey, I've got a Sprout Swarm, now I win. And lastly, they updated all the old cards to the new current frame rather than the modern frame, which doesn't really make sense because the modern frame is an older frame, but the current frame is what all the cards in Time Spiral Remastered are going to be, aside from of course, the time-shifted cards, which are going to be ones that are going to look older. After they've removed all of these cards, they ended up with a 289-card set. So this is a relatively big set, but it's also the combination of an entire block, so you can't expect it to just be small, can you? So far, it looks awesome to draft, and I think I'm going to really like doing that, possibly with some of my friends, if I can, you know, keep the willpower to save packs until after the pandemic, you know. Probably won't happen. I don't have patience like that. But yeah, I'm going to really like playing this set. Another thing that I would really like is if you hit the like and subscribe buttons, because that helps me out a ton. But you don't have to just subscribe because I told you to. You probably found this helpful. So, if that's the case, help me out and also help you out so that you can see more of this stuff and know what's going on in the world of Magic. So yeah, like and subscribe and then turn on the notifications bell like the little animation says. If you think a friend would like to see this, share it with them. Also, if you have any questions, comment those down below. I will try to answer them as soon as I can. Also, if you have any ways that I can improve, please hit me up. I want to improve so that you guys can be more enjoyed well, that's not exactly that way you guys can enjoy these things more, and also so you get to learn more. So yeah, that's everything. See you later. Bye.